Pick up a container of disinfecting wipes off your kitchen counter. Read the back. Look for two things: the EPA registration number and the contact time. Most American consumers have never looked for either. Here is something the canister does not tell you. Once the lid is open and that peel-back seal is broken, the wipes start drying out from the top of the stack. By the time you reach the middle of the canister, weeks or months later, the wipe coming off the roll is half evaporated. The quat or peroxide concentration is no longer at the level the label says it is. The chemistry the EPA tested against assumes a full-strength wipe. The dried-out one in your hand does not deliver what the back of the canister claims. That is before we even get to what most consumers do with the wipe. They pull it out, they swipe the counter, they walk away. 30 seconds. The label says 4 minutes. The gap between what the consumer thinks happened and what actually happened is the entire business model of the consumer wipes aisle. Subscribe. Let me walk you through what real disinfection requires, and why most of what is being sold as a disinfectant is doing nothing close to what the buyer thinks it is doing. The EPA registration number is the 6-digit code on the back panel that starts with the letters EPA Regi. Without it, the product is not legally a disinfectant. The word disinfecting printed on the front of the package, that is marketing language. Unregulated when no registration number is on the back. The contact time is the number of minutes the surface has to stay visibly wet for the disinfection to actually happen. Most consumer wipes products need between 4 and 10 minutes of continuous wet contact to kill what the label claims to kill. There are two products in front of me right now. Both have the word disinfecting printed across the front. One is a name brand canister, Clorox, Lysol, whichever one is sitting on your counter. The other is a store brand product from a major retailer. Similar packaging, similar pricing, similar fragrance. Look at the back of both. The name brand canister has an EPA registration number, clearly visible, 6 digits, on the back panel. Next to it is a directions for use section with specific kill claims: norovirus, salmonella, influenza A, staphylococcus. Each kill claim has a contact time printed beside it. Some kills require 30 seconds. Most require 4 minutes. The toughest organisms on the panel need 10 minutes of continuous wet contact. The store brand canister also has disinfecting printed across the front. The back has no EPA registration number. The use panel says to wipe the surface and let it air dry. No contact time, no kill claims. It is a surface cleaner with a disinfectant-style fragrance. The word on the front is marketing. Now run the receipt on both. The name brand canister, Clorox or Lysol, runs somewhere between $5 and $9 for 75 wipes. That is roughly 7 to 12 cents per wipe. Most households pull 2 to 3 wipes per kitchen clean. Twice a day in a family with kids. That is 4 to 6 wipes a day. 30 cents to 70 cents a day. Somewhere between $9 and $21 a month on wipes alone. Over $100 a year in some households. On a product that is not delivering the disinfection, the front of the canister promises unless the consumer follows directions nobody reads. The store brand canister costs less, somewhere between $3 and $5 for the same count. Same per wipe math at a lower price. But the store brand is not EPA registered. It is a cleaner in a disinfectant costume. The consumer saves $2 per canister and gets 0 disinfection. The pantry version of the daily wipe down, a spray bottle of diluted Castile soap, costs about 25 cents per quart. A quart lasts roughly 2 weeks of daily use. That is about $6.50 a year for the cleaning job the wipes canister does, without pretending to disinfect. The cleaning is honest. The price is honest. Real disinfection is chemistry, plus time. The active ingredients in EPA-registered consumer disinfecting products are usually one of 4 chemicals. Sodium hypochlorite, bleach, at low concentration. Quaternary ammonium compounds, called quats, which are the surface active disinfectants in most consumer wipes. Hydrogen peroxide, in some products between 1 and 5%, or alcohol, usually ethanol or isopropanol, above 60%. Each one has its own contact time. Bleach at the consumer dilution kills most organisms in about 1 minute, but only when the surface is clean before application. Quats need 3 to 10 minutes of continuous wet contact. Peroxide acts faster, 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Alcohol works in 15 to 30 seconds, but only on surfaces it can fully wet. The required contact time is on the label of every EPA-registered product, because the EPA tested the kill claim at that dilution for that time on a controlled surface. Less time, less kill. Wiping a surface with a wet wipe and walking away does not deliver the contact time. The surface dries in 20 to 40 seconds. The chemistry stops when the wet film evaporates. If you want the disinfection to happen, you have to keep the surface wet for the full stated time. That usually means a second wipe halfway through. Why is the contact time not on the front of the package? Because if a wipes canister said in large type, to disinfect, keep this surface visibly wet for 10 full minutes, the consumer would either stop buying it or stop using it on the wrong surfaces. The brand sells convenience and fragrance. The convenience does not match the chemistry. Let me show you what 4 minutes actually looks like in a real kitchen. You wipe the counter with the wet wipe. The surface is glossy. You look at the clock. After about 45 seconds, the surface starts going matte. The wipe left a thin film of liquid, and that film is evaporating. By 90 seconds, most of the surface is dry to the touch. The quat is still on the surface as a residue, but the wet contact the EPA tested against is gone. To keep the surface wet for the full 4 minutes, you would need to pull a second wipe and re-wet the surface at roughly the 2-minute mark. That is 2 wipes per disinfection event. On a standard kitchen counter, 3 feet by 2 feet of surface, you might need 3 wipes for the first pass and 2 more for the re-wet. 5 wipes to disinfect 1 counter 1 time. At 7 to 12 cents per wipe, that is 35 to 60 cents per disinfection event on a single counter. The canister of 75 wipes covers roughly 15 actual disinfection events if used correctly. At $8 per canister, that is about 53 cents per real disinfection. Most households think they are getting 75 disinfections per canister. They are getting 15. Maybe. The institutional method does the same job for about 5 cents. Here is what matters. Cleaning is not disinfection. Disinfection is not cleaning. The consumer aisle blurs the line on purpose, because the blur lets the brand sell one product for 2 different jobs. A clean counter is a counter wiped down with soap and water. A disinfected counter is a counter cleaned first, then treated with a registered disinfectant at the right dilution, kept wet for the contact time, then dried. Most American kitchens need the first one every day, and the second one rarely. The institutional supply room keeps the 2 products on 2 different shelves, on purpose, because they do 2 different jobs. The consumer aisle puts them in the same canister, with the same smell, because the convenience sells the bottle. For the daily kitchen counter wipe down, the cleaning step is all you need. The counter does not need disinfection most days. It needs to look clean and not feel sticky. A spray bottle of diluted Castile soap does that job better than a quat-based wipe at a fraction of the cost. For the times when disinfection is actually needed, the list is shorter than most people think. After cutting raw chicken or raw meat on the counter, the juices from raw poultry carry Salmonella and Campylobacter. Clean the surface first with soap and water to remove the visible residue, then apply the disinfectant and keep the surface wet for the stated time. This is the one kitchen scenario where real disinfection matters every time. After a stomach virus runs through the household, norovirus survives on surfaces for days. The bathroom counter, the toilet handle, the faucet knobs, the light switches. These are the surfaces that need disinfection during and after a stomach bug, not the kitchen counter on a normal Tuesday. The high chair after a sick toddler. Same logic. Clean it first, Then disinfect with a registered product at the right dilution and the right contact time. That is roughly the entire list for a typical American household. 3 scenarios, maybe 10 to 15 days a year where real disinfection is needed on any surface in the house. The other 350 days, soap and water does the job. The institutional method, clean the surface first to remove visible dirt. Then apply the disinfectant heavily enough that the surface stays wet for the stated time. Re-wet at the halfway mark if needed. Wipe dry only after the time has passed. For a household, the institutional method translates directly into a kitchen. A small bottle of household bleach in the cabinet, a measuring spoon, a clean spray bottle, a piece of masking tape on the bottle with the dilution ratio and the date it was mixed. The correct dilution for general household surfaces is roughly 1/3 cup of regular household bleach per gallon of water. A more dilute mix of 1 tablespoon per quart works on food prep surfaces. Apply to a pre-cleaned surface. Keep wet for the contact time, usually 1 minute at this dilution. Dry after. Mix fresh on the day it is needed. Bleach dilutions lose potency fast. Discard any unused dilution at the end of the day. One thing about bleach that I will say once and not repeat: it does not get mixed with anything other than water. Not ammonia, not vinegar, not other consumer cleaners. The fumes from a bad mix are dangerous. Water only. Ventilated area. Marked bottle. That is the rule. The total receipt on the institutional approach: about 25 cents per quart of all-purpose cleaner for the daily wipe down. About 5 cents per quart of bleach disinfectant solution for the rare day a household needs it. The consumer aisle wipes and spray combination runs somewhere between $40 and $80 a year for the same 2 jobs. The institutional approach runs under $3. $40 to $80 a year versus $3 for the same chemistry applied correctly on surfaces that actually need it, on the days they actually need it. The rest of the year, soap and water, 25 cents a quart. The cleaning aisle works because most consumers think the smell of disinfectant is disinfecting. The brand marketing knows this. The fragrance is the conversion driver. The fragrance is also the most expensive ingredient by weight after the bottle. You are paying for the smell. The smell does not disinfect. Pick up your disinfecting wipes right now. Tell me in the comments whether there is an EPA registration number on the back. Then tell me the contact time printed in the directions. I will bet most of you have never looked. That's what's in the bottle. Now you know.